This is a BOA Special Report, Agricultural Report. Mulch is a material spread over soil. It protects against wind and rain damage. It can also limit wet growth. Finding materials for organic mulch can be easy. Small pieces of tree bark or cut up leaves can be used. Some people use grass cuttings or newspapers. Others use organic materials such as red rubber from tires. Mulch is important to home gardens, but also to farms. Farmers may keep the remains of maize or other crops on top of the soil. The crop waste creates mulch. This practice is called conservation tillage. Organic mulch protects but also improves the condition of soil. It provides nutrients for plants. It also provides a good environment for earthworms and other helpful organisms in the soil. As the mulch breaks down, it provides material that keeps the soil from getting hard. This improves the growth of roots and increase the movement of water through the soil. The mulch also improves the ability of the soil to hold moisture. Experts generally suggest laying mulch to a depth about 10 centimeters if finer materials are used, such as cut grass. The depth should be 2.5 to 7.5 centimeters. The same is true if compost is used for mulch. Too much mulch can restrict oxygen and water flow to the soil and harm the roots. Also, do not build up mulch around the base of trees or plants like a volcano. This could lead to disease or insect damage. Some gardeners use leaf mulch, fine particles of leaves instead of wood mulch around it. Trees, especially young trees, leaf mulch can also be used in flowered beds. Mulching is one of the best things people can do for their gardens. It helps keep the soil from getting dry, so it reduces the need for watering. It also limits the temperature change in the soil. Mulch forms a barrier between the soil and the air. As a result, mulched soil will be colder in the summertime, and in winter it may not freeze as deeply as without mulch. Mulch can also be added late in autumn to help moderate the effects of winter weather. The best time is after ground that has frozen but before the coldest weather arrives. Spreading mulch before the ground has frozen may attract small animals searching for a warm place to spend the winter. And that's the BOA Special English Agriculture Report. Archives of our reports, including the last week's explanation of compost, can be found at boaspecialenglish.com. This is the BOA Special English Agriculture Report. Soil naturally contains harmless amounts of lead along other metals. Because of pollution, however, the amounts are higher the closer you get to cities and towns. But experts say this should not stop gardeners from growing food if they take safety measures. David Johnson is a chemistry professor in the state of New York College of Environmental Science and Forestry. He explains that lead can enter the ground from leaded paint and leaded fuel from industries. And once lead gets into the soil, it stays in a long time. It remains an environmental threat, especially to children lead can harm mental and physical development even in babies before they are born. If a test finds the soil has too much lead, you might be advised to remove the soil or cover it with soft grass. Different countries have different levels that they consider acceptable. Carl Rosen of the University of Minnesota Extension notes that concerns about lead have increased now that more people are planting gardens, but Professor Rosen said plants generally do not absorb much lead. He said there is likely more risk from lead dust on plants or from playing in soil than from the plant itself. Still, some plants do absorb more than others. Experts said choices for the garden include tomatoes, peppers, beans, or okra. Among the plants that can absorb more contaminants, they said are root crops, leafy vegetables, and herbs. If you grow carrots, for example, you might want to peel them. Dirty might be harder to remove from some crops than from others, but all produce should be washed. Gardens should be planted away from roads and structures, especially old buildings. Home gardens should plant away from the foundation of their house, and leaf amount can be especially high near industrial areas and waste dumps. Soil should also be tested for its pH level, a measure of the acid and alkaline balance. Experts say the ability to take up lead is reduced when the pH level is above 6.5. Adding organic material such as compost to soil can also make lead less able to plants. Some people attempt a process called phytomediterranean. They try to remove lead from the soil by growing certain plants that collect it. But Professor Rosen said the process is complex and may not work, and that's the BOA Special English Agriculture Report. For more gardening information, go to boaspecialenglish.com.